very bad feeling about this.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I've got a bad feeling about this. I have a bad feeling about this.
I have a bad feeling about
I have a very bad feeling about this. I've got a bad feeling about this.
For what it's worth, I've got a good feeling about this.
Punch and chisel! Or don't, I got a bad feeling about this. I can't do it. And you did it terribly.
Oh, I did. That was not good.
He kind of has like a Harry and the Hendersons voice. Like,
that actually was one of your better ones right there. That you
Really?
just did, the Harry and the Henderson one. Yeah. Oh, no, that was horrible. That fucking sucked.
it definitely
That
is
was
a
bad.
Star Wars voice, man. Just
Yes.
picture it like deep-throated, like...
Oh, that works, yeah. You know?
But that's not a Chewbacca or
No.
a Wookiee. But today we're going to do it, man. What we talked about for a long time is we're going to do a character study on one of the newer characters of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, you know, we've talked about, you know, wanting to dive into some different stuff. And, you know, this one, you know, they really fucking fumbled this character bad.
Could have been a great character if they did it right.
Yep.
And it's not that the acting was bad on his part.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. And, you know, we always hear, oh, they were going to do this. They could have done this. They could have done this. You know, lots of bad ideas, but, you know.
They didn't. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and also the China influence. So, we're talking about John Boyega's character, Finn. Or if you want to call him FN
2187.
2187, man. Do you know that off the top of your head?
Yes, I didn't have to look at the thing.
I had to look at the thing. I don't memorize that shit.
Yes.
Those are numbers within Star Wars, bro.
Yeah.
They would look differently, though, right?
Yeah, because they're in Arabic.
Arabesh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Well, anyways, when we first go to see this new Star Wars Disney film, the first one ever created by Disney, the hype is huge. Like, I remember, like, I had all my friends together, and, like, I got tickets, but my tickets were front fucking row, 3D. You had to wear the glasses. We went to Applebee's before, had some drinks, got prepared. The theater was packed.
Yeah, it was.
Just
it
packed.
Was, you know, we always go opening night, and I buy out, you know, an entire row, and
basically what I did. Front row, though.
No, I can't. I don't know how you do that shit.
Because I want to be immersed. I want to look around like it's space.
I cannot.
So you want to look around here
I can't do that.
And look at the space everywhere around.
My neck is fucked up, so I can't be doing that shit.
Well, it's kind of like riding a ride, you know, while watching Star Wars. And especially when it's in 3D. You put on the glasses.
Oh, I can't do that. I can't wear the 3D glasses on Star Tours.
Really?
Yeah.
I also sit front row on that, too.
Oh, God.
Because I wanted to see C-3PO and, like, turn around.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh, no.
I can't do it. Makes me sick.
Man, look, you gotta like lose some eyesight and have my vision. Like, see like an artist, man. I see things no one else can see because my vision is pretty bad. But it's pretty good in a way where I see things, you know? And that's not from taking mushrooms or shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
Mind enhancers.
Dude, that's... You know, maybe next time I go to Disneyland, I'll take some mushrooms before I go.
I did.
I know.
The last time I went.
I know.
It was great. They kicked
maybe I need
in
to
on
do
the boat ride.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean, man, it was awesome.
That'd be a good one.
When the smell hits you.
I was gonna say when that smell hits you. Oh yeah,
it's a thing, man. Like my daughter started like filming herself and making the TikToks or something like that. I'm like, that's a thing now. And I just start like tripping, you know. But enough to like able to walk in line.
Well, yeah,
I'm good. Dude, I can fake it. No one else knew. My daughter didn't know. Wife didn't know. You know, I was microdosing, but I did a little bit more.
Yeah,
you know, it's you keep doing it, you know, so you can get into the spirit of things.
Oh yeah, you don't want to do too much.
I'm a little cynical about shit, so I was afraid they were going to notice if I wasn't too cynical.
Yeah.
Or cynical enough. So I did have some insults to say at pirates and shit, you know? But anyways, when you get into Star Wars and the what's the Force Awakens,
Yes.
the feeling you get, you're surrounded by an audience of people and everyone's excited. This is like the height of any Star Wars movie when the theater is packed and you're there with everyone and you're feeling everyone's feelings. You know, we're all one conglomerate audience. We're all one people here.
You're all there for the same reason.
Yep.
You all,
We're all going to be the same attitude, whether it's good or bad. You know, we're all going to like, unless it's really bad, and we're all going to fight at the end.
Yeah.
You know? But anyways, like the opening scene, and if I remember it correctly, like a ship lands on whatever planet, and we don't know yet, and stormtroopers get off this ship with like the main bad guy, whatever his fucking name is.
Kylo Ren.
We don't know yet, you know, but he's got the deep force, and it's like very Vader-esque, but it's its own thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is cool. Okay, you know, I think the mask looks all right, although we've seen it, you know, in previews here and there, I think. And then you get the stormtroopers, and like, do people fucking die in this opening scene? Like, stormtroopers are hitting their mark. Like, the First Order.
What happened? Yeah.
Is like these people are fucking good at doing their fucking job.
It's different. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're seeing something different. You're like, wow, you know. And, you know, when Kylo Ren stops the blaster bolt and freezes it, you're like, holy shit.
Oh, this dude's got some power, man.
And you know, the whole opening scene to the movie, you're just like, wow, you know.
Dude, so Finn finally makes his appearance, and he's a stormtrooper. He's got the blood print on his fucking helmet. Never seen blood in Star Wars.
No, never.
So I was super amazed by that, just watching. I'm like, oh man, he's got a bloody handprint on his helmet. This is, and I love horror films. I love that kind of like, visual representation.
Yeah. We're seeing things we hadn't seen in Star Wars, which is, kind of what people want.
Yeah. I definitely want
it. It started off really well. And, like he took his helmet off.
Dude, and
That's
he's
never
breathing,
happened.
Yeah, he's breathing hard. And it didn't matter that he was a black dude or anything like that. Nobody cared.
No.
It wasn't a thing.
He was he's breathing hard, he's sweating like he's having a panic attack.
Dude, it reminds me of like D-Day, like the Tom Hanks movie, Saving Private Ryan, when they're like, it's not the same at all, but when they're storming Normandy and people are exploding and shit like that, and like you get a close up of a soldier and he doesn't know what to do. This is the panic that they're trying to convey within Star Wars,
Yeah, he's got, the sweat dripping off of him and stuff. And like I said, it's something we hadn't seen before. It really kind of humanized the people that,
are in the First Order or Empire, really.
We saw like the clones. They're clones.
Yeah.
They're not. They don't have the emotion
shoot,
and
they
stuff.
look kind of cool.
So, and we didn't really know about. There wasn't a whole lot of background on stormtroopers. So the only reference we really had was from the prequels of them being clones. So they're, they're kind of, they're bred for that. They're
they can die and you don't care.
Exactly.
And also they what we're used to stormtroopers, they take little steps in marching order and then aim and shoot. I don't know if they aim, but they just shoot.
Shoot from the hip.
Suppression fire. Sure.
Yeah. Spray and pray is what we call it.
But in this scene, we kind of see a little bit of battle and a little bit more humanization from them, especially with Finn or FN.
FN 2187.
2187. I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I got to memorize.
No problem.
Now. Yeah. Ask me later. So.
Okay.
But the fact that he's breathing hard and humanized this whole thing, I was like, holy shit. Then what happens after that scene? Is that done and then we don't see Finn yet? Or
so he gets back on the carrier, like the troop carrier, and they go back, and Phasma is like, why'd you take your helmet off? whatever, and then he says that his weapon malfunctioned and he has to go get it checked out or whatever.
In Star Wars history, do stormtroopers ever take off their helmets that we see? No. They never do. They're not supposed to, because you're supposed to get this Naziistic idea
the
of them.
Closest thing you ever saw was a scout trooper with the helmet flipped up, but even then, that guy was supposed to be a rebel, Nick Sant.
Okay.
So
yeah.
You saw that, like, the helmet for a scout trooper would flip up,
right?
But that's the closest you ever saw to it.
Yeah. So even with that, stormtroopers are just ants. Like, it doesn't matter. They're cannon fodder, but now they're humanized.
Yeah.
Now we have a guy defecting from the unit,
yes,
or who maybe cannot handle this. But the idea that we're getting, like, later in the film, you get the whole Naziistic idea with the red draperies and stuff, like when they're showcasing Starkiller Base.
Yeah, and Hux's
General
speech
Hux,
and all that stuff. Yes.
And it's very reminiscent to, World War II type speeches and shit like that.
The tone,
Yep.
he's using it very much like Hitler and stuff. So
right, and very
the imagery,
very hardcore imagery.
Yes,
and I know a lot of people hated this because like we know Star Wars, we know it's based off Nazis, but I think if they continued the story of Finn defecting and also showing somewhat of upbringing where they take children and train them and give them numbers and make them not a human.
Yeah.
And then also him deflecting and whatever and bringing other people with him, which should have been his story arc. It would have made more sense to show the hardcore Nazi kind of imagery.
Yeah, how they, like you said, they would take you, they would basically break you down and then rebuild you the way they wanted.
I think that was, what's his name, the director of this film. Did he write it too? I think he had multiple writers, but I'm sure he had a part in writing it.
Yeah.
And certain ideas about it. What's his name? Mystery box motherfucker. J.J. Abrams. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure he had the idea of a defecting stormtrooper, and of course you need to make them super Nazi. You need to make them the really bad guys. Yeah. This is the First Order. This is not the Empire.
Just that, the imagery alone, invokes that, these guys are just like Nazis. So you don't have to get into a whole bunch of background. You know right away.
Imagery is there.
These are the bad guys.
Yep.
When you see it, it's like, oh, these guys are bad. Oh, no, they're bad. They're really bad. When you see, all of them standing there, like you said, with the drapes and all that shit, oh, fuck, this is, without getting a whole bunch of backstory, exactly what these people are, what they're about, just
by that speech,
just by that,
and that
the
imagery.
Speech,
yep.
The whole scene, how bad they are,
right? But we know there's defectors who are not for this,
Yeah, and you never really saw anything like that in Star Wars before.
I thought it was really cool. I was like,
former
wow.
stormtrooper, things like that. You didn't see that.
I thought, wow, now they're serious about this shit now. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And the online rapport was that, we didn't need this. We know. And it's like, but that's the whole point of a movie. And especially if you're retelling a story with Starkiller Base, and when it's retelling of a story with newly added shit into it. We actually need to see visuals like that. Absolutely.
And to me, that's the right way to do it. You conveyed so much with the imagery that you didn't need to go into a whole backstory.
Right. This is not the Big Lebowski. They were Nazis, dude. They were nihilists, Donnie. Shut the fuck up, Donnie. No, we don't need that. You don't need to tell us they were Nazis. No, we got the imagery. We got the cool scene. We got the TIE fighters flying overhead.
You have a few minutes,
right,
for the scene, and you know everything you need
You also
to know.
introduce General Hux, which is he's pretty much a badass until he
And-
turns, which
yeah,
makes no sense.
And you don't need to know his backstory. You just need to know that he's a general. Obviously, he's risen through the ranks to get to where he's at, and he's probably done some pretty bad shit.
And he has some crazy fucking ideas. You know, he's the guy who is like leading this shit as a chosen guy because of his antics in the past. You know, which is what I thought, but
like I said,
wrong.
you didn't need to be told that. You just were like, oh shit, hey, this guy probably,
That's what I think. Like, and if they went into backstory of General Hux, he probably was kind of like a Hitler-esque guy, like Hitler in his early days, where he had all these crazy ideas about society and what would work, and then he starts seeing it in real life, and then he has a change of heart because, like, this is not exactly what I thought it was good because it was the general census. And I was just speaking the truth of a small community, and now it's bigger. Now I have to go with the resistance.
That reminds me of the Dave Chappelle joke when he's like, when you see a group of black guys with one white guy, he's like, those white guys are the most dangerous guys in the group because you don't know what they did to gain everyone else's respect.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. So it's like, it's like, oh, damn, this guy's in charge of this shit. Yeah, he probably did some fucked up shit.
Yeah, he's a small, screamy guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he's probably he's probably ruthless, and he's an asshole. And
so the first movie introduces Finn that way, and then they also like hint at some force wielding powers, like he can,
that wasn't really until later, though.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't remember. Like, I haven't watched that first movie in a while, so I don't know exactly how it goes. But I know they introduced some force.
That wasn't until the very end where he tells Ray, "Oh, I felt it, whatever."
Oh, that's right.
I don't think they needed to do that.
They didn't need to do that.
You know what? He didn't have to have that. He could have just been a good guy.
Yes, a good guy.
Just a good guy.
His story is going against the First Order.
Yes. That was it. He didn't have to be, force sensitive, going to be a Jedi, whatever. No, he could have just been a really good dude.
He's the guy who has knowledge of the inside stuff. And he could have not just like inside of how it works, but inside of like, hey, Ray, I can tell you, like, I was a small child abducted into this, and it could be like just like the Jedis. They trained me just like they trained the Jedis,
Exactly.
But the Jedis, we'll shine them in a brighter light because they're nicer. The First Order, they give you a fucking number. You're in prison. You're only allowed, this meal, this, that, and you have to train all day, and you're beaten into submission. All kinds of shit.
You're told what you're gonna do. You're gonna he worked in sanitation,
and they could do this real quick with like some claymation would be cool, like where he's talking about it, and it's like they're showing the chess game, but it's they could do something artistic with it, and it's because it's just a brief story. It doesn't have to be fully visualized.
Yeah.
And, he could talk about all that stuff, but they don't do that at all. Nothing. There's nothing after that. I mean, you got more story to get to. I mean, you have to like show, the reprising roles of Han Solo and Chewie coming back.
Yeah. The first movie, his role was great. You saw a lot of character growth, and you saw a lot. But after that, it just went to shit.
But hold on, he did have the battle with not who's the Game of Thrones lady? Like, she wasn't there yet, but she was in the film. But the dude with like the electrified staff thing that goes, I don't know what you call that, and he does battle him.
Yeah, that was the executioner.
That's right. Yeah.
The First Order executioner, or whatever.
So that's a cool ending for him in the film, is defeating that guy,
That was the second one.
That was the second one?
Yes, the first one he fought Kylo Ren, remember?
Oh, that's
he
right.
He took the lightsaber.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
Okay, well, I don't know where the fuck I'm at. I'm just saying his story arc is all confusing.
Oh, this is going to be a great show.
I'm just still imagining what it could be if he was really cool. And while he's still he's a great actor in the role of Finn, it's just
like I said, he did a great job, and I think his character really got fucked over like I said, for so many reasons.
So in the first movie, he does get the lightsaber, and he somehow knows how to use it. Which, are you supposed to know how to use it, or like can anyone just use it like it's a weapon baton?
Yeah, I mean, he's probably, like you said, he's probably been trained like with a baton or something. So
he didn't look down the barrel like Luke did.
Yeah, he probably has some training as a stormtrooper where he's used something like that.
He understands the weapons.
Yes, he's had some weapons training. So, like you said, whether it's
and he doesn't come off as a dumb guy. He comes off as a little scared of things. But
so. He's like, oh, hey, it's a sword. We've all,
For a first film, a guy who's kind of scared of things makes sense, and he does his first battle and everything like that, and then he's like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
That makes sense for a first film, right? So we get to the second film. We all know what happens with Rey and Kylo. They're concentrated on the Kylos and shit like that, and
Raylo,
making new shit,
yeah.
Raylo,
whatever the fuck you want to call it, yeah.
Making up all these new powers and the Mary Sues and all that stuff, so other audiences can go rah rah rah, go women or whatever. I don't know, but we don't need to get into that because we know there's super women and everything. Look at Ripley, look at everyone. Yeah, okay, we're not going to do that here. We're concentrating on Finn. So we get to the second movie. What happens with him in the second movie?
Oh,
when did we first see him in the second movie? What is he doing?
What the hell is he doing in the second?
Didn't he need to talk to Rey about something? Or is that towards the third?
That's the third movie.
Fuck! God damn it! I fucking suck, dude.
Okay, the second one is when he has to go get the code breaker. Remember? And him and Rose Tico,
Maz Kanto or whatever, Maz
Kanata is in the first one. She owns the fucking cantina.
Wait, what's the stupid city called in the second one? The gambling city.
God, I don't remember the name of it.
Mazzo, it's something like that.
I don't know.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
Yeah. I can't think. God damn it! I know it. It's right there in my head. And I cannot think of the fucking name of it.
But I think Rian Johnson didn't understand. Like Rian Johnson writes all these spy things and does a lot of different writing that is decent and good about the spy shit, Knives Out, whatever he fucking does, all that stuff.
So
he should know about a defector from like a fucking Nazi regime and like how to write for that.
What he did is he goes to the casino and they watch the fucking horse races and all that shit. And then they're gonna go find this code breaker. So then they go find,
So this whole trip, he's concentrating on finding this code breaker while Rose Tico is falling in love with him. So it's like he's not in love with her, but she's in love with him. Is the way I see it.
Yes,
but I don't know if that's what it was meant to be.
I have no idea.
I also don't care.
I don't think anybody knows what the fuck was going on with that.
No.
But, he goes and they're going to find the code breaker and they don't find a code breaker. And that literally had absolutely nothing to do with the advancement of the story.
No, but they let the horses free.
Yes.
And they also showed that anyone could wish to be a Jedi with a ring.
Yeah, as long as you sweep up really good.
Yeah. If you're a good brush boom boy,
man,
your next adventure is gonna be great, man.
So, he went to the casino. They, thought they found the code breaker. They didn't. They're on the ship, and Phasma somehow returned.
There's another character that they did nothing with.
Exactly.
But she did fall down a hole.
Yeah.
She might still be alive.
Again.
When you fall down a hole in Star Wars, you survive.
Yes.
We know this. We know this.
No one, I was going to say, no one's ever died falling down the hole, but no, that's...
There's a lot of holes in Star Wars, man. Especially in the plots.
That's like a George Carlin joke. He's always like, someone says, this country's going down the fucking tubes. Where the fuck are these tubes at?
Yeah.
You think someone would say, hey, Joey, watch out for the fucking tube.
That's why plumbing is a huge business.
Yeah.
Especially after Thanksgiving. You gotta like get all those like Luke Skywalker hands out of there,
Yeah.
you know, and emperors, yeah, so they can live. What is the reasoning behind his underdevelopment? Now, we can point fingers at a lot of different places, especially countries and especially companies like Disney. Because when you have a huge Star Wars product, you want to make all the money you can. And I understand that as a business standpoint. You want to sell it to China. And then China's like, well, we don't like ghosts. We don't like devils, anything spiritual. We don't we don't like other races. We're cool with white people, but like we don't want black people on the cover. And we also don't want them to be the star. So maybe that had a lot to do with it.
I think so. And you know, him not being on the thing, it, you know, people always say controversies, you know, sells and stuff.
I think he was on some of the Chinese covers. It was just put really small, so you couldn't see it. It was like black on black.
I think he was taken out.
Well, okay, so
the ones I saw, he was completely taken out.
Initially, he was taken out, and then there's other ones where he's just really small in the background. Like
maybe
it's black on black. It's like space,
you know,
with a black guy.
They told us that to make us feel better, but
Probably.
never did it there. Oh, look, well, no, he's on this one. Well, yeah, that was never released in China. I don't know. I'm just making that shit up.
It was before AI was invented, so we can't really tell anymore.
They're Mandela affecting us.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know? Oh yeah, he was always in it. See, right there.
Right.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
No. I hate all the Star Wars posters from this era. You know, with the red and the blue and all that shit. They just look terrible, and they all look the fucking same.
Yeah, I get that.
I get they're going with a motif, and it just looks terrible.
I didn't think they were that great.
If you just had like a stormtrooper with a bloody handprint on it, that'd be cool.
That could literally have been the poster,
right?
The helmet
teaser
with
poster,
with the bloody handprint on it, and
that would have been awesome.
We should make one.
I want them to release that helmet, or I mean, actually, you can just do that yourself, but. Still, I want Hasbro to release the helmet with the blood print on it.
You know, I have one of those helmets right now. We could just put some paint.
Oh, dude, I have the best blood paint of all time. It's
Yeah.
called Blood from the Blood Gods by Citadel Paints, dude. It's the best. You just put some on like a kid's hand and go.
Yeah.
You know, because my fingers are fat, so it would look too cool if I did too bloody.
Yeah.
You can't have too much blood in Star Wars. Just enough.
Just enough. Yeah.
Right.
Just a little bit.
So the creative direction changes between directors. Disney has no idea what the fuck they're doing with anything. They're like, well, we're getting Rian Johnson for this one because he's critically acclaimed and he has new ideas and he's going to bring it to a new level. And he did. He brought Star Wars to a new lower level that Star Wars has never been to yet or experienced. Like, he brought it back to the past. Like, he brought the bar so low that fucking the director of Titanic had to go under that bar and search for it.
He brought it back to the holiday special.
Which is a novelty nowadays. Like, people enjoy that as a novelty.
Yep.
They
used part of it in Skeleton Crew.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I didn't get there yet.
Yeah, you had to have seen it because it was in like the first episode.
I did.
When the little elephant kid is watching the thing on the table, the little hologram.
That's right. Yeah.
The dancers and stuff. That's from the holiday special.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did realize that. I didn't remember.
Yeah, I think we talked about it before on another episode or on Hoodcast, something like that.
Yeah. So, and also, like we all know, there's no vision for this whole trilogy to be put together at all. Like, maybe J.J. Abrams had it and then, I don't know why he left, or he just didn't want to direct all of them. He was like, let's give some chances to everyone else, But there's no story arc ideas. I thought they had meetings with huge Star Wars, like, aficionados about things.
You would think they would do that, but...
It would be a smart business idea, but I think they're too concentrated on getting every community involved in this. Yeah. They're trying to celebrate everyone and also pander to everyone.
Yeah. That doesn't always work out right.
It never works out right. Name one time it did.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either because like I'm not going to do the study on when pandering actually worked out and we made tons of money. Hey, let's keep pandering and make a lot of money. This is working for us.
Yeah, and let's keep it going and then you keep making money. No.
I mean, Disney has a track record of pandering and losing money. You would think they'd go, "Hey, let's
we should stop this.
Let's pull the reins on the old school horse here a little bit, you know?" No. And also, this whole trilogy, of course, it's not focused on Finn at all. It's heavily focused on Rey's origin and Kylo's redemption, which Kylo's redemption is not that bad. It's not great, but it's not terrible.
No.
His redemption doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's okay.
You start off with him just being literally the first things you see is him being a badass where he's stopping the fucking bolt, in midair and just it's frozen there and you're like,
badass.
Holy
Cool.
shit. Oh my God. And then he just becomes a whiny bitch.
A whiny kid throwing a tantrum.
Yeah.
Like, and I didn't understand them all. I was like, what the fuck? Why is he destroying everything? He's so mad about dumb shit.
Yeah. I mean, you could show like he has, he's been conflicted the whole time.
He's a trained Jedi, and he's also a trained Sith. He should be able to handle this shit. He can handle bad news.
I mean, you can go back and forth where he struggles with certain things, but making him like a literal crybaby.
Look, I understand. Like, maybe they're trying to show him as a badass, but also like more destructive. I think that's the idea, but they had to dumb it down for Disney. If he was destructive and just, choking motherfuckers like Vader did, when Vader's stressed out, he just kills fucking people.
Yeah.
Or chokes them and does, walks away and deals with his own internal problems. Kylo Ren, no, he smashes consoles. He just fucking acts out like a spoiled brat. And it doesn't make sense. Like, I get it for the Disney film, and if you're showing this to fucking children, they're going to get it.
Yeah, but then when you get to the third one, at the very beginning, he's just wrecking motherfuckers to get the Wayfinder.
Right. The MacGuffin.
The holocron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
He's just, like I said, just wrecking everybody and mowing these guys down.
The shit that they have at Disneyland that nobody buys. I almost bought one, but I was like, it's too expensive.
Yeah, I don't have one. I was trying to think, did I buy one of those? I don't think so.
They have a bunch of different. They have like green ones that are in a cube, but they have like.
Well, yeah, one's the Jedi and one's the Sith.
Well,
the Jedi one's the cube and the Sith is the triangle.
Well, where does that like lead you?
What?
The Jedi one, the cube.
So in Rebels, that's how.
I didn't know.
Well, yeah, you don't watch the cartoons. So it's in Rebels, and that's how like Obi-Wan was communicating, and that's like that's where Ezra is using it, and that's how he actually like connects with Darth Maul, and.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still not gonna watch them. Maybe
Dude,
eventually. Maybe I
I
will.
Dude, you gotta watch Clone Wars. You have to watch it. At least Clone Wars. Rebels, yeah, Rebels is good, but Clone Wars is so much better.
I thought Rebels was for kids, though. Basically,
No.
I mean, they're all cartoons, so it's like it's hard for me to get into it because they don't have adult-oriented jokes. At least that I don't know of.
I'm trying to think if there's any in Clone Wars. Clone Wars is really good. You got it. There's so much stuff. When you start watching Clone Wars, you'll see things and be like, "Holy shit!" I like Kylo Ren's lightsaber with the cross guard hilt.
Yeah, which makes sense. You need that.
That's in Clone Wars.
I gotta think you're a better swordsman if you don't use that. Use a saber without that. You're a better swordsman, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't need that. I think it's more a sign of a respect. I think Kylo Ren is cheating while using that. So it makes sense for a bad guy to have that, maybe, if you really think into it. Or he's just smarter. I don't know. Or he's not that good.
Or you can actually, like you said, you can use that to your advantage where, if you're fighting with someone, you've got the little piece sticking out the end. You just, maybe twist your wrist a little bit, and
but the game
slice
is
off their hand.
You normally construct your own eventually.
Yes.
You know, rather than using your someone else's.
Yeah.
That's given to you or something like that.
But that one, was in the Clone Wars. It's laying on the ground.
What about the whole, like, so they tried to develop a storyline between Finn and Rey. Like, maybe Finn was into Rey, maybe he was in love with her, but there was no signs that he was in love with her, but there was something there, and I don't know exactly what it was. It was too jumbled to even decipher what anything was there. Whether, like, he had something to tell her about something, and maybe he was going to tell her about his past. I don't know.
Well, in the last one where he's like, he wants to tell her that he felt it,
He felt it.
It.
Like,
yeah.
Like, he took it out.
Yeah.
And Rey goes like, that's it?
Yeah.
This is it. I don't know, man. I really do think that Finn could have been one of the best characters in a Star Wars trilogy.
Definitely.
So if Kylo and Rey's character wasn't a Mary Sue and she had her fallacies and shit like that, but then still had some love with Kylo Ren, I kind of like that idea. I like the Reylo idea.
I would have much rather seen Rey and Finn.
I don't know, man. I like. It reminds me of Final Fantasy video games, kind of, where if you're playing even like a dude and a dude, like Cloud and Sephiroth, they kind of have this weird love together. But even like in the other ones, like there's like Kefka and the other dude, there's weird love triangles between the bad guy and the good guy. They all speak in these riddles, romantic riddles, and they all kind of love each other for who they are, even though they're on opposing sides. So you have to have a good writer to write that shit, and it not conveyed in the Star Wars fucking Disney trilogy at all. But dude, I think fans of Final Fantasy, they do see that there. They see what could be
a love triangle.
Oh, that's
would have been interesting.
So there was also Poe, though, that people thought they were going to make him gay.
God. Yeah.
But they needed a pilot, an expert pilot, because that's Star Wars, So they need something for him to do. And maybe that's not be gay, because they need to sell this to China.
There was no reason to make him gay at all.
No, none.
I don't think it advances the story at all.
No.
It gets nothing done.
Nothing. I mean, we saw a gay kiss, though, and they cut it out of China.
And it did nothing for the movie. We don't know those people. There's no story. We're never going to get their story.
They worked for the Resistance, and they fought hard. And when Starkiller blew up, they had a romantic kiss in the background, bro.
Yeah.
I never noticed it until, stupid news sites pointed it out.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking know.
I don't notice it unless I, looking for it. Be like, hey, wait, isn't this when they had the kiss or whatever? I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter.
By the time of the third film, and the whole thing that Finn had to tell Rey something, and then did he tell her anything? Was that storyline ever finished?
See, I read the book, and that's where sometimes I kind of mix them up, because in the book, it goes into where he feels, the call to the light side, and he
So that's what he has to tell Rey is, I feel the Force?
Yeah. So
it's not like, I feel that, I'm in with you. I might be in love with you, that kind of bullshit.
No, that's not it. No.
No. Not at all.
Yeah. It's that he feels the Force.
Even though they kind of been through thick and thin, but not really, because
I would have much rather.
All these people are split up. They never really get back together. It's not like Star Wars where, they split up from time to time, but they get back together and they form a union once again, like original Star Wars.
When are they, you got to think, when are they all together?
They fly now?
Think about that. Yeah.
No, they're not all there. John Boyega and Poe are there when they fly now. I think Rey's there. Yeah.
She was waiting for Kylo, right?
I think so.
Doing
yeah.
her flips over the ship and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, think about it.
They don't even really know each other. They just know they're on the same side.
Yeah, they really. When you think about it, they really don't know each other.
No.
They don't have the
Aside from the first film, that's it. The third film, they're all in separate areas.
I don't feel like they have like the connection like the group from the original ones does.
They had too many plot points that they wanted to convey for no fucking reason that don't advance the storyline at all. They are all MacGuffins and like we need shit to happen kind of thing, to fill up a movie. Like, oh, Chewie needs to die here, but then not die. And then she needs to use her lightning force power because this is like she's going to be a Palpatine. So we got to do something with that. And then, Finn's going to be running on a Star Destroyer without a helmet and meet another black girl who also is a defected, First Order member because it needs to happen.
There's a bunch of them.
That's his story arc.
But
he needs to meet the real girl who did it, not him. He wasn't the first. He didn't do it. He doesn't matter because she was the first.
But then in the end, she tells him, "Oh, there's more of us." Okay. But then Lando comes in and is like,
Right.
"Well, let's find out." It's like, "Well, what the fuck?"
Finn's like, "Why am I here?"
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm here too.
Well, John Boyega did voice his own opinion. And I have like some of the shit that he said here. Someone asked him, he was asked, what would he do if he could remake the Star Wars sequel trilogy? He says, it would be mad. First of all, we're not going to get rid of Han Solo. Luke Skywalker, all these people, we're not doing that. The first thing we're going to do is fulfill their story, fulfill their legacy. We're going to make a good moment of handing over the baton. So he's not even making it about himself yet. He's saying, let's use these original people like everyone fucking wants to hand over the baton to whatever the new school shit is. And he continues. He goes, he goes, Luke Skywalker wouldn't be disappearing on a rock. Hell no. Standing there, he's like a projector. I would want to give those characters way, way more. Our new characters will not be overpowered in these movies. They won't just grab stuff and know what to do with it. No. Like the Millennium Falcon, like a lightsaber, You've got to struggle like every other character in this franchise. I look to the old Republic stories and see where we can add to the continuation of that. I would definitely want to see Force Unleashed stories in there. I would try to expand the Star Wars universe as much as possible while respecting the lore. If we're expecting the lore, we have to do it within the respective boundaries that stay true to the genre.
So he literally is saying what we've been saying the whole time. Dude,
Yep.
it's there. Fans want this. Why aren't we giving the fans what they want?
I know he has spoke out about his character, and he kind of blamed it on the race thing and shit like that, but he was just suspecting. He's just saying shit out there, and that's because of the China shit.
Yeah.
But just that quote that I read of him, he's a Star Wars fan.
Oh, definitely.
He knows exactly what's up. All these people who are on these films, who are there, who are Star Wars fans, and I don't know about Daisy Ridley. I don't think she is. She's just there.
Yeah. I don't think so.
She watched Star Wars after the fact, I think. And probably knows about it beforehand, but not a huge fan. He doesn't care. He cared while on set, and it's probably hard to bite your tongue and do all these scenes and shit. And I'm sure there's more scenes that are filmed. You don't know how it's going to be put together. You want to say a lot, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because as a Star Wars fan, people are going to shit talk this shit.
Yeah.
Or this scene that you're in, because you don't know if the movie's going to be good or bad, but you know whatever scene, and you kind of get the story of how you're filming things out of order, and you're like, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
And you know when trouble is happening and script changes are happening constantly, and then you're a
And you're
day
just
out
like,
of work
"Oh,
because they don't
shit."
know what to do yet.
Yeah.
And you're like, shit is fucking going down.
Yeah.
And you're sworn to secrecy for like multiple years.
And you can't say anything. Like even Mark Hamill was like, dude, I didn't disagree, but that's not my job. I'm just supposed to go in there, and if they tell me to do this, then I do it. I get the director directs me, and I'm supposed to do, work out his vision.
Yeah.
And
I understand that,
yeah. And he's
You're
like,
a paid
I
actor.
probably should have said something, but I'll give it to him. He, that's part of being professional.
Exactly.
You're doing what you're told.
You do your job.
You're doing your job. Even though he knows that character. He's been that character. Everybody knows he's Luke Skywalker. If he wanted to make a change, nobody's going to say anything because.
But maybe there's something there when
him.
it's. Maybe Disney doesn't own Star Wars. Maybe we own Star Wars. Us collectively. Maybe we own it as fans, And I think when they're filming something like this and you're using a lot of old characters and stuff like that, and you have the power to speak up, you need to. Because you need to represent the fans and the people who love it and grew up with it over their span of their whole fucking life. Maybe you should. And I'm speaking generally to them,
Yeah. Well, you got to think that's part of the success of Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni as being fans of it.
Yeah.
They've spoken up. They've said, this is what fans want. This is what we want. And for the most part, everybody's pretty happy with what they've done.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Even bringing Luke Skywalker back.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it. I like it. Have a whole show with that dude acting. Don't even do the facial reconstruction CGI shit. Just have that dude doing it. Or get the guy from the Marvel fucking to do with the arm.
Oh, God. Yeah. Sebastian Stan.
Yeah, do it.
Dude,
I don't care.
I was kind of thinking about something. I was like, you know what? I would not be upset if they did a complete remake of the very first movie.
Oh, I wouldn't be mad at all.
You figure, you take Sebastian Stan as Luke Skywalker.
Do you want it scene for scene like they did Psycho, which was terrible? Or do you want like a same story told, but new director, new idea, new film?
You know what? I wouldn't be upset if they even let George Lucas do it the way he wanted to. With
that would
people.
be a project.
Think about that. And you know what? Don't do all of them. Just do the first one.
Yeah, just one project.
Just the first one. Make it.
Ooh, I don't know how that would go over.
Make it the way you originally wanted.
You want to side audiences against themselves?
Make
this happen.
But like you said, all new cast. The dude, who from Solo, you can get Carrie Fisher's daughter.
I love her. She's great,
Yep.
though.
You could have her be in it. Like I said, Sebastian Stan is Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Got you put Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Actually,
when you start getting into that stuff.
What if they do that, but film it as parts of a show, like a miniseries, rather than, and they flesh it out way more. Like there's way more talking scenes, there's way more drama scenes. They kind of have to, because they have to kind of go against the brother and sister finding out and kissing and all. So they have to flesh that shit out a lot more.
So do it, hell, you can make it like, you just said a miniseries, 8 parts.
You can have the Jabba scenes in the early days, like
exactly do that a little, like you said, you can expand. Like I said, so not a shot for shot remake.
No,
not rewriting it.
It's
expanding it.
Yeah,
I think that would be different. That would be pretty good if you could expand it. So
you can even have different episodes where other shit is going on without these characters, like a Greedo episode.
Yeah.
You know, just throw in like how Greedo ends up there.
I mean, you could do.
Why not?
I mean, you can do a whole episode just in the cantina.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And then it ends with the whole Jabba the Hutt thing.
It's only the first movie. It's called A New Hope Expanded Universe. You know, whatever. It would be cool, dude.
That would. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing something like that. You know, not changing everything, just expanding it. That's what I was saying. You know, that's what I was saying by letting George Lucas do it. You're going to get the things that he wanted in there.
Yeah.
That, you know, he had the constraints.
I don't say let him do it. He's too old. Man. He don't
so.
want to do it.
Or let him work on it. Let him help.
Yeah. Have some ideas. Sure.
You know,
come on in.
But that's what I'm saying is, you know, he wouldn't have to like literally like direct everything.
No, he doesn't have to be there.
Okay, when you look like
when we call you on the phone, you have some ideas.
You know,
when
like
you want to come down the set,
like Return of the Jedi. He didn't direct it.
No,
you know, but he had all the input.
Right.
Something more like
so
that.
So done with directing by then.
But that's what I'm saying. Something more like that. Using his ideas, let him flesh out all those stories. But yeah, you can have somebody else direct it. But go off of, you know, what he wanted to see, his vision.
Yeah.
You know, that's something I would like.
Even like if that's too much money to get all those actors, just do the stories about in between. I mean, they've already done it with other movies, you know, leading up to New Hope. But I would like to see a Greedo story. I would like to see all these different characters.
I don't think
into a New
getting
Hope.
Those actors for it. I think they're going to do it to be a part of it. I don't think it's something where you got, because you look at they do movies with ensemble casts all the time.
Well,
and they're not
shows make way more money. You get to stay at home. You get to stay with your family. You know.
They do movies like that all the time where they've got tons of stars in it, and they do it to be part of it. I think doing something like that, a lot of these people are going to be like, "Fuck it, I'm going to do it."
It's a love letter, and it's also like a cash grab if you want to think of that.
And then they could be like, you know what? On the back end, if they're going to do another one of these, then they're going to pay me.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I'll give you the first one for free. The first one, a little sample.
Once they get to Return of the Jedi, it's going to suck.
But I'm saying
it's going to be my favorite though.
Hey, why don't we create some stuff in between that we didn't see?
Right.
Hey, we can do that. We can find out where Luke's hand went.
Yeah, right.
Things like that.
Why'd they find the saber and not the hand?
Yeah. Maybe.
Well, I know where the hand went. It went to make clones. They just haven't got there yet.
Yeah.
Because the clone Lukes are coming, man. They're coming.
They were in the vat next to Snoke.
Can you imagine an army, the new Clone Wars?
Yeah.
The clones of Luke? Oh, shit is done, man. It's fucking over. And they're all evil Lukes. They're not good Lukes. No defectors here. There's going to be one, though. Retard Luke.
Luke Force 99.
Well, shit, man. I think we did it. We figured out that Finn is he should have been a great character. Great actor, but
they fumbled
misused
him so much, so bad.
Got a lot of good ideas and a lot more coming up on. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, we'll come up with some other shit.
Yeah, it's gonna happen real soon.
In the name of the Galactic Senate of the Republic, you're under arrest, Chancellor.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.